Do you want to find out how this legal dream team took a client who was facing mandatory life in prison and walked him out of the courtroom a free man?
Watch this video and find out how. Hi, I'm Susan Lawson, a partner at the Rossen Law Firm.
Hi, I'm Meri, a partner at the Rossen Law Firm.
And we're here to talk to you about our client, Jerry, who we just had an amazing result for his case. He was facing some very, very serious charges. He was charged with burglary with a deadly weapon, aggravated battery, and burglary of a conveyance. The most serious charge, he was facing a minimum mandatory of life in prison.
In fact, when we saw him, he was in custody and had been for 5 years at that point. And unfortunately, the attorney that he had on the case when we saw him wasn't really exploring the case as deeply as it should have been explored.
And I had known Jerry for many years. I had represented him in the past, but I saw this was a case that really needed the work put into it, really needed the fight, and he was really ready to turn his life around.
And we had a very short time dealing with the case, unfortunately. When we saw him, he was in custody and his case had been special set for trial. I think like the judge gave us maybe 3 months, and we knew though that in that time we could push the case to get him the best possible outcome, because he really is a good guy who was just facing a very bad circumstance, and that's exactly who we help.
Jerry was alleged to have attacked somebody with a machete and gotten into a fight over the machete.
Actually, he was the burglary aspect is because they claimed that he was lying in wait inside of an apartment with a machete. I mean, it sounded terrible. You know, it wasn't true.
That the co-defendant snitch set up.
And what you all should know about snitches is that there's a cautionary instruction, a jury instruction that judges specifically give on snitches. We'll call them snitches, they're co-defendants, whatever you want to call them. But this instruction tells the jury, hey, take this testimony with a grain of salt, because this person obviously is looking out for their best interest. And Susan, you had been trying to tell the state that, look, don't trust this person. Unfortunately, they wouldn't listen until trial.
So we try to resolve the case, and before trial, because as Meri said, Jerry had already done 5 years in county jail.
On a ridiculous case.
Right, waiting for his case to be tried. So when we got on, we had a very short period of time to get ready. We took the snitch co-defendant's deposition and we geared up for trial.
Yep, we went to trial. We picked an amazing jury. Jerry was very excited and really had full faith and confidence and trust in us. I credit Susan for a lot of that. She really built an incredible relationship with him throughout the years, and he knew that he was in the hands of people who really were looking out for his best interest. So once we picked the jury, and I did opening, and then Susan then did one of the best crosses that I have seen on the co-defendant / snitch.
Brought up her prior criminal history, the benefits she got on this case from resolving to testifying, and
all of the inconsistencies in her testimonies.
Yes, she, by the end of the cross-examination, she was just speechless. She couldn't answer the question.
The prosecutor was sweating so hard that as soon as this witness got off the stand and the jury was excused for lunch, the prosecutor came up to us and said, okay, what will your client take? Which they should have done from the beginning.
Right, and as much as we are fighters and it killed us to not go and finish the trial, we knew it was in Jerry's best interest to ensure that he would be going home that day.
Exactly. We, at that point, knew that we had the upper hand in the trial, so we were able to negotiate for him. Out of the 3 charges, 2 of them were dropped. The most serious charge was reduced to a simple felony battery, and he was time served and he was able to go home.
And we did that by playing Bad cop, good cop. Meri being the bad cop that day, me being the good
I'm always
cop.
bad cop.
Pretty much always.
Yes, we made sure there were, unfortunately, because of his past, there were certain enhancements which made this mandatory prison, mandatory life. So we got all of those enhancements removed, again, because the state knew that they were just, it was not happening for them.
Because if he lost, he would have been there been no other option, he would have been serving life in prison. And prior to trial, the offer was 15 years in prison, which he was advised to take, not by us, but we really changed his life, and he changed ours as well.
He really did. He was advised to take the 15 years by his previous attorney. That's when he hired us, because he knew that if Susan and I advised him, hey, look, we don't have any other options, you should take the 15, he would have known at that point that we did everything. We didn't guarantee him a result. No. We told him, look, we're only going to be on this case for 3 months because the judge had special set it for trial, and there was a chance that we wouldn't be able to get a better offer. However, here we explore every possible option in order to beat the case. Sometimes we're successful at it. Usually we are.
Yeah.
But so we can't guarantee that. What we do guarantee is that you're not going to have any questions as to whether or not, oh, should I have done this? Should I have done that? And not only that, but why don't you tell them where Jerry is now?
Yes. So Jerry, when he got out, I remember his sister gave us a phone call and said Jerry's out, and he just, a lot has changed in the world in the past 5 years.
Yes.
So just kind of sat in the car once he got out.
Relearning how to use an iPhone.
A phone, taking everything in, taking the world in a completely different light.
Surprising his niece at her birthday party. She thought he was still in custody, and then he surprised her, and he sang a song that he did not know at karaoke.
Yes. And then he was planning to go to Disney World with his family, and doing things that, catching up on life. He got his life back. We saved his life.
Yes, he really, but the thing with Jerry is that because he came so close to having his life taken away, mandatory life in prison, there is no parole, there is no anything, you are dying in prison. And so he knows, although he had a bit of a checkered past, he knows that this was it for him, and now he's moved to Texas.
Yeah, he's moved to Texas. He got out of Broward County. He's living with his mom.
Got a job.
He's working and doing extremely well, and we are very proud.
I could not have been prouder to work with you on this and to meet Jerry, because he's a truly exceptional person, and he is the perfect example of our motto here, which is when bad things happen to good people. Yes. I truly believe Jerry is a good person, and I think that his relationship with you and with us, I think that I don't think people have really believed in him the way that Susan did, and I think that just means a lot to him.
And it means a lot that you saw that in him as well.
Yes.
And we were a great team to now Jerry is achieving his best future.
Absolutely. So if you are facing a bad situation and you are not happy with how it's being handled, or you're scared and you need to talk to someone, here at the Rossen Law Firm, we do give free consultations. We call them strategy sessions, because that's exactly what we do, is we strategize how we will attack the case if you were to retain us.
And we will overturn every possible stone to get you the best possible result, just like we did for Jerry.